Welcome to Alice Just Alice 55. You're listening to an AI-narrated audiobook version of my original story, The Unclaimed Werewolf, an Unbound Wolves novel, written by Alice N. Smith. Chapter 24, Where Smoke Carries Stories. Nora woke to the smell of meat. It cut through sleep in a way nothing else did. Rich, warm, unmistakably cooked. Not the sharp tang of fresh kill or the clean iron of blood, but something slower, patient, deliberate. Her eyes opened. For a moment disorientation flickered. The den was dim and familiar, the earth cool beneath her. Morcel pressed warm and solid against her side. Her arm ached dully where it had been treated, the pain distant but present. The smell came again. Smoke. She frowned and shifted, careful of her arm, then crawled toward the mouth of the den. Eamon had built a small fire a short distance away, tucked into a natural hollow where the smoke drifted upward without clinging. He sat beside it on a fallen log, dressed in a fresh shirt and trousers pulled from his pack, the fabric still creased from being folded. The pack itself rested nearby, opened and half emptied. He turned 2 skewered rabbits over the flame with practiced care. He looked up when he sensed her. "Morning," he said. Morcel slipped past her at once, tail wagging low as he approached the fire with keen interest. Nora stepped fully into the open, blinking against the light. "You're cooking." "Yes." She stared at the rabbits, then at him. "Why?" He smiled faintly, the expression soft and a little self-conscious. "I thought you might like it. I'm sorry in advance. They won't be anything special. I didn't recognize many of the herbs around here." He hesitated, then added more honestly, "And I didn't want to stray too far." She understood that without explanation. "I usually don't cook," she said. "No?" She shook her head. "I eat in wolf form. It's faster." Eamon hummed, thoughtful. "You're missing out." She arched a brow at him. "Cooked food tastes better," he continued, turning the meat again. "Even when it's simple, even when it takes time." "That sounds inefficient." He laughed quietly. "It is. That's part of the point." He handed her one of the skewers once the meat was done, careful not to brush her injured arm. She took it, sniffed once, then sat across from him on a flat stone. They ate in silence at first. The rabbit was tender, the flavor deeper than she expected. Smoky, warm. She chewed slowly, then slower still. After a few bites, she said, "It's good." Eamon's smile widened. "Worth the effort?" She considered, then nodded. Yes. That seemed to please him more than it should have. Morsel sat between them, hopeful, eventually rewarded with a careful portion torn free. They finished eating, the fire crackling low as the morning settled around them. Eamon wiped his hands on his trousers, then glanced at her, not casually, but with intent. "Can I ask you something?" he said. She didn't answer right away. Then, "You already crossed my border. Go ahead." He accepted that with a quiet exhale. "How did you end up out here, alone?" The question hung between them, heavier than it sounded. Nora stared into the fire for a long moment. "I lived in a human village when I was young," she said finally. "I don't remember much from before that, just pieces." Eamon stilled. "My adoptive parents took me in," she continued. "They were kind as people can be when they don't really understand what they've taken responsibility for." She paused, eyes narrowing slightly as memory surfaced. "As I got older, it became dangerous. For them, for the village." She shrugged. "They said I couldn't stay. So they sent me here." Eamon's expression hardened, something sharp and immediate flashing through it. They abandoned you. Nora glanced at him. I never thought of it that way. His jaw tightened. You were a child. I was relocated, she said evenly. They didn't leave me helpless. They showed me how to survive, where the streams were, what not to touch. That doesn't make it right. No, she agreed, but it made it workable. Emotion rose in him anyway, uninvited and obvious. Anger, grief, disgust at the idea of a child being sent into the woods alone. Nora noticed it and felt distantly a flicker of something like regret, not for what had happened, but for having said it aloud. It's not important, she said, brushing it aside. It worked. I lived. Eamon looked at her like he wanted to argue. Then he didn't. All right, he said quietly. The fire popped softly between them. Nora finished the last bite of rabbit and leaned back, eyes lifting to the trees overhead. It had been worth the effort, not just the food, and she didn't say that either.